Viewers, so I'm going to do a little Q&A on some electrolytes and alkalinity. So, I mean, I think alkalinity has to be so important. So if you can buy a really good filtering system to filter water, spend $400 upwards at least, where you get the two separations. That's really what you want to achieve, because in the end, your health is so important these days with even in the water supply that goes into the foods is still very acidic, so you have to be even careful there, even if you eat clean. So on top of that, what will really help definitely is, so what I've got here, so that is essentially your, see, it's got a few bubbles in there, and that's essentially your alkalizer. So here is your alkalining salts. That's basically just salts. So what I might do then is, I'll show you guys what it looks like if you just pour a little bit in. Okay. So I'll take a little bit out of here. I've already got a stack in there, so I don't want to put too much more in. But you put it in, and that's what happens. So that's your pH levels, your stomach acid, so it helps to create. What it does is so many things. Have a look into it. The list goes on. Basically helps with inflammation, helps the lymphatic nodes, the lymphatic system, helps to even flush out toxins. Extremely good for detoxing, just to help the detox process. It's a bit like a car with having coolant in your radiator. It will never rust, but if you take the coolant out and just have water in there, well, it eventually is going to rust and get really, really bad. So this one here is a teaspoon of potassium. That's potassium. So this one here is your Celtic. It's frothing away again. This one here is your Celtic salt. So close to about a teaspoon of that. Now salt is disgusting to drink, I tell you, full on. And the magnesium. So in capsules, so I'll probably have about probably 4 or 5 of them now. So each one contains about 400 international units. So you could have anywhere from up to, depending on how much you train. If you train a lot, yeah, you probably need 3,000 international units, maybe even more, so milligrams. Even as the daily recommended is like 400 to 800. I mean, depending on if you have bad gut bacteria or intestinal problems, you're not going to absorb your magnesium. If you don't have enough fats in your diet, you're not going to absorb enough magnesium anyway. If you're older, you're not going to absorb enough magnesium anyway. If you train a hell of a lot, you need to definitely make sure you have a really good gut and intestinal tract, because you need magnesium. Your body just won't draw it up. If you go to then try to, if you're training a lot, have magnesium straight after workout, sometimes it won't always uptake it because there's so much blood everywhere else. So, but if it's in a very, like a powder or a capsule, it should be okay, easy to break down. That's what you got to think sometimes. Sometimes the things that are more easy to break down, digest, it's very important, because a lot of time over time we lose all different types of stomach acids, enzymes, hydrochloric acid, pH levels. Everything goes, so it's so important to be aware of everything. I say to people that I work with, it is so important to be conscious, especially these days, of everything you buy, everything you put in your mouth, the amounts, and what is going on with your body. I mean, if you're going to the toilet, the runs, or you're going, your number ones are more darker than being clear, but then you've got to look at when you've had maybe vitamins or something, because they can be yellow a lot because you've had too many or something, or they're just going straight through you. So there's so many things. I could go on forever, but I'll keep this video short. This was basically just on this, but I noticed huge improvements, even like mixing all that together just now, and I will in the next 5 minutes to the next 20 minutes I'll feel really good. So yeah, but you don't want to alkalize yourself too much. So you have pH strips, which are very important to get. Just Google them or go on eBay, pH strips, and that way when you pee or do your saliva, and you can get a chart with it that tells you where you need to be. So that's very important not to overdo it, because essentially you can then flush out too many things. So it's just that happy medium balance, which is what we're all aiming for, hopefully. So that's that, and cheers.